Izzy, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you doing?
Really good. Thank you for joining me in this interview. Because of this project, I know that you're in a class called Communication in the Interview. Is Communication Studies your major?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you have a minor?
Yeah, I'm a minor in psychology.
Oh, okay. Interesting combination. That's the opposite of mine, like we kind of talked about earlier.
Yep. I mean, I started off as a psych major, then flipped it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I actually, I've always been a psych major and comms minor, but I considered switching and flipping it, but I didn't. So I think they're two that go together a lot.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
a lot of people have that combination in one way or another.
Definitely. I mean, communication is, the outwardness of it, whereas psychology is the mentalness behind it. So they go right hand in hand.
Yeah, perfect. What made you decide to be a comms major and psych minor?
Okay, originally I was actually a geology major, and I decided that was a really bad idea. And I really was interested in psychology, but at the time I didn't want to go to grad school, so I thought communications was a better way to go. And I still loved psychology, so I wanted to stick with it in one way. And I guess the main reason I switched and majored in comms was because it was broader in the sense, whereas psychology is more focused and communication is more general, and so I guess it just kind of fit what I needed.
Sure.
I don't know.
Give you more options.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose communication in the interview as a class specifically?
Because I've always been more interested in interviews. I guess because I never knew if I was really a good interviewer or interviewee, so I kind of wanted to figure that out, and I wanted to figure out, how to be a better interviewee and interviewer, so, which I've definitely learned.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we already kind of talked about what influenced your decision to be the major. When you were choosing colleges, what school, or what made you decide to choose River Falls, I guess?
Well, my dad actually graduated from here, my uncle graduated from here, and my stepsister graduated from here.
Wow.
So we'd always come up when my stepsister had things going on, so I loved the school, and my dad would talk about it constantly. He really loved the school, and so he'd always take me up here, and when I came for my actual college visit day, I just kind of fell in love with the campus. I come from a small town, so I wasn't really keen on going to a big school. So, but I liked that it was close to the cities, so that if I wanted to actually go into the cities, it was only like a half-hour drive away from me.
Sure.
And I also wanted something far away where not a lot of my classmates went. I'm a 3.5-hour drive from here.
Wow.
So I rarely go home.
Yeah.
And there's only, I think, about 5 people from my high school who go here that I know of. So that was definitely one of the biggest influences in choosing River Falls.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of reasons. Did you consider going anywhere else? Like, did you apply anywhere else?
I only applied to one other school, and it was Eau Claire. I had never actually visited Eau Claire, but I was like, it's like the second farthest school away that I could go to, and I wasn't keen on Superior, so yeah. So I applied there. I got in, but I didn't,
check it out, look into it more.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, why did you want to be so far away from home? Just to get that independence, or?
High school was not a joy for me in the least bit. I hated it.
Okay.
And I didn't like my classmates very much, and I wanted to get away. I wanted a fresh start. I didn't like who I was as a person in high school, so I wanted to be able to completely just reinvent myself, which is exactly what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's a pretty common one. That's nice about college. It allows you to do that.
Definitely.
Have you ever considered transferring in your time at River Falls or dropping out?
I don't think so. There's been tough times and friend group changes and things like that, but I don't think I ever thought about transferring unless it was a joke with friends.
Okay.
I know we've joked about dropping out and one of the common themes between one of my roommates and I is we're going to drop out and be strippers because we don't want to deal with school and finals, but I would never actually do that.
Right.
But no.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Tell me about your. So, what year are you here?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, so you're graduating next week.
No, I'm graduating in the fall.
In December.
Yeah,
Okay.
in December.
Okay. Tell me about your freshman experience here. What was that like?
My freshman experience was interesting. I joined the track team here, and I ran track for just a couple of years. And I kind of fell into that stereotypical freshman, practically on the verge of being kicked out kind of deal.
Okay.
We partied a lot. I didn't really do homework, especially since I was a geology major at the time, so I really just didn't like it, so I didn't have the motivation to do it.
Sure.
But yeah, I didn't really get involved other than track. It was interesting and not my proudest year being in college, but my sophomore year was a lot better. I found a new group of friends. I joined different organizations, and I think that's where I really picked up. I was on the verge of going on academic probation at the end of my freshman year. I was 2 points away from it.
Wow.
And since then, I don't think I've had less than a 3.5 for my semesters.
Wow.
So I worked my butt off.
Right.
And I've joined so many different organizations. And I only ran track for 2 years, so got away from the bad friend group, found better friend groups.
Right. Yeah. What other organizations have you joined since?
I have off and on done swing dance club since I was a freshman. I was a part of the hall councils for 3 years. I did Residence Hall Association, which is a part of hall council.
Me too.
Yeah. So wait, we probably were on it together. When did you do it?
Maybe my freshman year.
You're a junior?
I'm a senior.
Senior? Okay, so then no, I did it myself.
Okay.
So close. Anyway, I was on the exec board for RHA this
Oh, wow.
past semester, and then I quit because residence life is kind of a hot mess. What else have I done? I was in NRHH, which is the National Residence Hall Honorary. I joined a sorority, so I was in Alpha Omicron Pi, and I did a couple offices there. And I joined Order of Omega and Rho Lambda, which are 2 of the Greek honor societies. I've done dance theater. Now an officer for dance theater.
Wow.
I did study abroad. I went to Scotland for a semester.
You got quite the resume here.
It was an OTL, so I did
Wow.
WOW Week. Yeah, I have a lot of wide interests, and I can never choose what to do, so I feel like every year is a new focus for me. This year was my sorority and dance, and next year is going to be just dance for me because I'm only here for a semester, but I can still do dance even though I'm only here a semester.
Right.
But so each year has been a different focus for me,
Okay.
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Trying different things. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's nice that you have the opportunity here to just switch around.
Yep, I've pretty much had my hand in a little bit of everything
Right.
on campus. So.
Yeah. That's great. You were talking about how res life is a mess, and I was an RA for the last 2 years, so
Yeah.
I understand.
Everyone guaranteed me that I would be an RA, and I didn't get it, and it was probably one of the most heartbreaking moments.
You didn't get the job?
No.
That's surprising, especially being so involved in hall council.
I found
and
out
RHA.
why, and that's when I quit everything in res life.
Why?
My hall manager, when we had hall managers, there was this huge mess. I was going through roommate problems, and my RA and her, the HM, I didn't feel were doing all that they could, and I feel like they were making me to be the victim when it was really, or the problem, when it was really my roommate who was stressing me out so much. And I went to go talk to one of the advisors for our hall council, who was an RA in the building, and I was really good friends with him, and he, just wanting to understand the whole situation, went and talked to my RA about it, not realizing that she was going to go to our home manager, and then our home manager at 10:30 at night knocks on my door and starts yelling at me, saying like I'm not being professional and this reflects poorly, and all just a whole lot of things, and it was not okay. I completely left campus that night because I just couldn't be on campus because I lived like kitty corner to her apartment, but
jeez.
So yeah, and I found out because she's a complex director now.
Okay.
So I found out that she's the reason I didn't get the position, and I literally was like, all right, I'm out. I quit my RHA position. Res Life has basically just been pushing me out this entire year, and I'm just like, fine, I'm out.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm gonna go do things where people actually care about me.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a bad experience. Yikes. Back to the
good stuff.
more structured. Tangents are good. How do you think you've changed or grown, I guess, since your freshman year?
I've changed so much. A couple of my friends who I've had since freshman year can definitely attest to this, especially the friends who I've had in high school. I was very uptight and honestly a straight up bitch when I was in high school. Because I was just sick of people. And freshman year, I still was really wound up tight about just everything and very OCD in a sense. Honestly, getting away from the track team was probably one of the better moments for my life because I relaxed more. I learned to just let things go, and like especially with Scotland, going there, like I came back from Scotland and people are like, you're so chill, like I don't know how to handle you right now, like you've relaxed.
Yeah.
But over the past 4 years I've definitely matured and just kind of fallen into who I wanted to be as a person, which
Okay.
But
Yeah,
so big changes.
Yeah. Changes for the better. What has been the most enjoyable part of being a college student?
Everything. I think one of the best things is all of the opportunities we are given and that we can take a hold of. Because I mean, as I've already said, I've done pretty much everything, and like there's still things that I want to do that I never got a chance to, like, you know, go be in a play or
Right.
you know, things like that. But yeah, it's the opportunities are the greatest,
Okay.
and everything that I've gotten to do.
Yeah. What would you say were the best and worst decisions that you made in your time here?
The best is definitely probably doing the things that I wanted to do and like exploring who I was as a person and my interests and things like that. The worst is probably partying too much my freshman year and not doing my academics, because it's been, for the longest time, my cumulative GPA has been under a 3.0, and I've always wanted that 3.0 at least to get up there, and this past semester I busted my ass for it, and I finally got the 3.01 and I cheered, I was so happy.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure it was hard to recover after freshman year, right?
Oh yeah.
So to wrap up our interview, do you have any advice for incoming college students?
Get involved. As an OTL this past fall with my group of Wowies, that's what I told them. I'm like, this is your time to explore. This is your time to get out of your comfort zone and do something you never thought you'd do. Like, I was definitely one of those people who made fun of Greeks, and then I actually got to know them, and I joined a Greek organization, and I completely went out of my comfort zone, and that is exactly what college is. Push those boundaries, get involved, do things that you will be able to look back on and be able to tell your grandkids about.
Yeah.
How many people can say they swam in Loch Ness?
Not a lot.
I can.
That's awesome.
So, definitely the time for it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your insight and sharing your experience with me.
Of course, thank you. Yep.
Do I push the same button?
Yep.